I was 16 and my boyfriend at the time, and I decided to get a hotel room and Netflix and chill, and so I told my mom I was at my friend's house for the night. I had been feeling really weird, but I was thinking maybe I was just scared for the night, so I didn't think much of it. I got to the hotel and me and my boyfriend did some things, and then we went to get some food, and my stomach was hurting really bad, and I told him I had been feeling weird the last couple days, and he took me back to the hotel and we laid down to go to sleep. But about an hour later I woke up and I was bleeding from my cat, and I was like, what the fuck, my period ended last week. I woke up my boyfriend and ran to the bathroom, and he asked if I wanted him to call my mom, and I said no because I was supposed to be at a friend's house. As soon as I got to the bathroom I started throwing up uncontrollably, so my boyfriend got my jacket and the empty bag the food came in and gave it to me and picked me up and took me to the hospital. Since I was a minor I had to have an adult come to sign papers, so my boyfriend called my mom and she was pissed, but she was there in about 5 minutes and she signed the papers and talked to the doctors, and then I got taken into surgery. The doctor explained that it was a tampon in my stomach, and I remembered I forgot to take it out when my period ended, and it was in my cat for like 3 days, and then when me and my boyfriend did, you know what, he pushed it further in me. LOL girl, I feel so bad for you, laughing my fucking ass off. I accidentally sent my orchestra teacher a video of me crying. We had to record ourselves playing the music and send it to her so she could grade it. But I left it off to the last minute and was really stressed, and it was really late at night, so I decided to cry for 10 minutes to relieve some of the stress and hence start recording. Unfortunately, I caught myself crying in the beginning of the video and didn't realize until the next day. After we had a one-on-one lesson together, she asked me a bunch of questions about how I was feeling and how stressed I was. I had no idea why.
Might trigger people, so please be advised. About 2 years ago my friends went to this party and met people that were really chill while I was at work, so the next day we all hung out. They were hella chill, and I found out my best friend had a crush on one of the guys, and he always had a bunch of family issues, and he was getting over his girlfriend that passed a year before we all met. So after a few months and we found him a new girlfriend because he didn't like my best friend like that, and everything was fine until he went to jail, and he told us he went to jail for climbing a crane, and we all believe him like the clowns we are. Until one of my friends that was friends with the judges looked up his case.
Here's a really funny story submission that happened to me and my friend. So one time before, I had this friend named Laya, and we would always go to each other's houses. Mind you, Laya was like 2 years older than me at the time, so she was more developed. So one day we were walking down the street just chilling as usual and decided we should have a sleepover at my house. By the way, she lives like literally right beside me, so we both walk back to her house so she can pack her stuff, and after that we were on the way back to my house. On the way back to my house we were sharing secrets, and this bitch told me she was secretly dating my older brother. I didn't believe it at first because back then everybody wanted to be with my brother because apparently something about him turned on my friend, so I just shrugged it off my shoulders until we were in my room about to go to. One time in year 4 I had a boyfriend, and we would send each other a big paragraph to each other with all kissing emojis instead of just saying goodnight to each other. And in that paragraph somewhere along the lines it would say, "Good night baby, I can't wait to snog you in the bushes tomorrow," even though it would never ever happen. And he also didn't want me to tell anyone that we were together, and one night I wrote this massive paragraph saying how much I wanted to snog him. And before that, he sent me a message saying he can't wait until he has S3X with me, so I said I can't wait to have sex with you too. By the way, we didn't even know what sex was. I checked 5 minutes later why he hadn't answered me. Turns out I actually sent it to my adult cousin. I deleted the message quickly and all you hoes are mean for clowning on my Subway Surfers. No, I ain't playing on a toaster. No, I ain't get my game off Wish. And no, I ain't playing on no damn Android. Y'all just jelly. And to my supporters, don't ever be afraid to be different, mamas. We was born to stand out, not fit in. Let the haters hate and do you, baby boo. Mwah. When I was 14 I had a boyfriend, we'll call him Parker. So anyways, he would always drive his mom's car even though he was underage, but he never got caught. So one night I snuck out to his house and we drove to a high school party because he knew a guy. So basically we got there and everyone was drinking, and Parker told me to drink too so we could fit in, and I did everything he said. So I drank tequila and a couple White Claws and got drunk, and Parker was drunk too so we couldn't drive home, but it was like 4 a.m. and we had to get home before our parents woke up, so we got a ride from a designated driver and we got in a little car accident, but it wasn't that bad cause no one died, but we obviously still had to call the police and our parents. So after that night Parker and I were forced to break up and we were both grounded for 5 months.
When I was in 6th grade I always tried to be friends with the popular girls so I could be popular too. So one day I sat beside them at lunch and they all glared at me. I asked them if they wanted a bite of my salami sandwich and the one girl said, "Get the fuck away from our table, you disgusting bitch. I bet you can't even afford clothes from Justice. You don't deserve to breathe near us, so move." I was about to cry, but then I remembered my backpack from Justice that I got from Goodwill, so I showed it to them. Then they said I was allowed to sit with them. We are all best friends to this.
In ninth grade I woke up with a horrible fucking period and my bitch of a mom wouldn't let me stay home. I went to school and I was in third period. I could feel that I needed to change my tampon. I asked my ugly ass teacher if I could go to the bathroom and that whore said no, so I screamed, "I am bleeding out of my fucking vagina." This bitch had the nerve to still not let me go. I was like, you know what, fuck it. So I grabbed my tampon and got in her face with it and said, "I am either gonna change my tampon right here, you're gonna let me go to the bathroom." This bitch hit me across the face and said, "Go sit down." So at that point I was so pissed I almost beat the fuck out of her, but I didn't want to get blood all over my new pants, so I just went to the bathroom. That crazy bitch started chasing me. That didn't stop me from going in the stall and doing my business. The bitch eventually called security and they brought me to the office. I told them everything that happened and the class backed up my story. The bitch was fired and my mom sued that ugly fat bitch ass whore for hitting me and denying me my human right. 2 months later she was sent to jail for killing her husband and newborn baby. Holy shit, your school was crazy.
So in 7th grade my friend was dating this boy and I low-key hated my friend and her boyfriend was hot, so I decided to sext him, so he cheated on her with me and so he fingered me at the movies before he went to meet up with her, and I don't regret it, because she is a fucking stupid annoying roach who kept dating all the guys I liked. And now that we're seniors I found out she got pregnant with the same guy who cheated on her with me and she moved to a different state. Their baby is gonna be ugly as fuck. This story is PG-13. Okay, so one time in 9th grade I had switched schools because my dad had gotten a new job. On my first day at school there was this really hot boy. Let's call him Brett. I had science with Brett and we had a seating arrangement. Because our last names started with the same letter, we sat by each other. We sat at a table alone in the back of class. I asked him for a pencil and he put his hand on my thigh while he reached into his backpack for a pencil. He gave me it and turned around but left his hand on my thigh. I was a very curious girl, so I moved his hand up my dress. I could see him getting excited, winking face. Not too long later, I had asked my teacher if I could go to the bathroom. I took the hall pass and left the room. As I start walking down the hall, I hear running footsteps behind me. I didn't think much until a hand grabbed my butt.
This is going to be a long one, so grab your popcorn and enjoy my childhood smiley face. So when I was younger I had a huge crush on this guy and he knew, because everyone I like I tell them to their face because my mom ain't raised no cat face. So the way I showed I like someone is by roasting them, hurting them, or ruining them until I am satisfied. So I would wear a belt to school cause I was slim thick, so me and my close friends decided to hit the boys because we can. So me and my friends decided to chase around the guy I liked around the field with my belt in hand. So when we caught up to him we would hit him. Not really though. But one day I got fed up with my crush because he was saying how much he likes other girls and how big their butts were, and he even pushed me. As the baddie I got fed up and slapped his forearm. Mind you, I am stronger than him, taller and overall Mexican. So when I slapped him he cried like a bitch.
On the first day of 6th grade I had a crush and he liked me back. He's been my boyfriend for 2 months. We met up at the park and he decided to kiss me. I kissed him back. The next day I asked my mom if my friend could come over. That was actually my boyfriend. She didn't know about him. Once he got to my house my mom said he was my cousin. I've been kissing my cousin.
So I had just got back to school from being suspended and everyone was happy to see me except for my teacher, so I came into class. I had a crop top on and I was talking to my friends, so my teacher called me outside of the class. Bitch ass, fat ass, baloney build ass, lonely ass, hot breath ass. Teacher called my mom and asked her if I was on medication or something. Skull deadpan face. Like, bitch, I'm straight ho. So I say, Mom, I'm gonna cuss her out, and my mom said, okay sweetie. So I said, bitch, who TF do you think you were asking if I'm on something? That's why your husband fucked my sister and she's pregnant by him, you fat fuck ugly ass bitch. I hope you fall in a hole and die bitch. And she started crying and I left the class. The bad bitch. I am kissy face heart from Anonymous. OMG, I am dead. Tears of joy, tears of joy.
One time this year, my sister was using my iPad for her job, right? So she opened up Safari and the first thing she sees is anime porn and she called me to come to her. She asked me why this is on the iPad. It wasn't me. She asked me and my 7-year-old brother. We both said no. Later when my mom left the house, she finally asked us who did it. My brother said it could be a virus from the website he uses for cartoons. Later in the day he turned on his Nintendo Switch connected to his TV. It turned on and it said anime sex. He begged me not to tell. I asked him why and he said it's a little crush. So basically my 7-year-old brother was on Pornhub watching anime girls banging.
So my mom came home mad at me. I didn't know why. And she just came home and slammed the pregnancy test on my bed. And I was watching a movie. And I was like, Mom, why do you have that pregnancy test on my bed? Then she said, you were spending the night at your boyfriend's house. I want to make sure you didn't do anything. So as your mother I would really appreciate if you take that test. So I took the test and she was surprised that I wasn't pregnant. So who's stupid now, Mom?
One time when I was 15 I went to the beach with my best friend and we were there all day. I ended up sleeping over at her house and before bed I chugged 2 bottles of water. I felt very dehydrated. We were sleeping in the same bed and I fucking wet the bed. I peed so fucking much it woke me up and it was all over her too. I was panicking and didn't know what to do, so I went to the fridge, got chocolate milk and poured it all over the bed and all over her and said I spilled chocolate milk and we need to wash the sheets, and she believed me. I'm 18 now and she still has no idea. Alright bitches, so this shit better be anonymous because the police told me I'm not allowed to tell anyone. In 7th grade I got a DM on Instagram from a random person saying they were going to shoot up my middle school. I live in Florida, so even if it was a joke I had to tell a teacher. I texted my science teacher and sent her the screenshots and she kept texting me saying there would be dead bodies everywhere. Anyway, she called the principal and the principal called me to call the police station. We called the police and gave our statements and I went to bed thinking it would be alright. At 2 a.m. in the fucking morning my mother starts banging on the door that a literal fucking detective is coming over. I talked to her and she was chill, but then they talked about having to possibly go through my phone to get my messages and I acted like that was fine, but oh hell no, I did some unholy things and had pictures of it, so please keep your sticky fingers away from my phone. I don't wanna go to juve.